Juett.
Talk about your brother for a second, bro. He's a monster guitar player.
No doubt.
You guys been playing. What's it like playing with your brother, man? Growing up with him, getting into music together, and then watching each other grow, and then seeing him just kind of take off into the guitar player that he's become. I mean, how has that been for you?
Well, I mean, I think my brother's always had something special. I mean, even early on, when I was playing in, bands that really didn't amount to anything, I was just out there, getting my chops up, and he was, down studying guitar and shit in school. You know what I mean? Like he was wanting to know the inner workings of how to craft music, how to write it, how to be a guitar virtuoso. He wanted to do it all, So before the whole rock and roll persona came into be, he did the necessary work to, put the work in to understand how to write good music and how to read music, and, which I think it says a lot, for his level of guitar playing and, being able to walk into a room and he can just, create something, write something, everything makes sense musically. You don't have a guy who's like trying to force notes to where they don't belong. Like everything has to basically speak like the English language. It's got to have, a flow to it and it's got to make sense, so he's always, I feel like I had a little bit to help him, basically come to life on stage as far as having a personality. I pushed him real hard to kind of come out of his shell and, fuck, dude. Once I did that, he just like blew up and turned into a guitar monster. And he's working on some really rad, solo stuff and doing the top secret stuff. And I'm just happy to see him playing music. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what makes him happy. And if he's always writing and recording and stuff, and especially in a time where we're kind of like chilling out right now, it's cool to see him still putting stuff out, so it's really cool.
That's great. I think the whole concept, if I'm understanding correctly, of Top Secrets is that he's like doing kind of like a compilation thing with various artists and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's kind of doing it like a Crosby, Stills, Nash kind of style. You know what I mean? Where he goes and gets like a couple different musicians every time he wants to write a song. And fuck, dude. We've traveled the world. We've met so many good musicians and so many cool people that it makes sense. With one, email, one line word to somebody, they're in. You know what I mean? Okay, I'll do it. And so I'm excited to see what musicians he gets on board to do it.
That's very cool. The first guys I've heard of are, I'm totally blanking on their name. They're from up Northern California.
Slow Season.
Yeah.
Those guys are killer.
Yeah.
I mean, those good dudes are pure rock and roll. I mean, he's gone out there and recorded a lot of music with them before in the past. So, I mean, they've already kind of had that cool connection musically. So I think I think that was a really cool lineup. I thought he was just going to roll with that and put a new project out, which I thought he should probably do that too. Cause that lineup is really cool. Brandon on vocals. I mean, that guy's
yeah, man.
He's killer.
They sound like Led Zeppelin,
Yeah. He's that guy's a rock star, man. So, it's cool. I mean, I think this day and time, you gotta be able to do a lot of different things really good. You got to be able to jam with people. You got to put out as much shit as you possibly can. You got to get your recording credits up. It makes you better when you play with other people. That's the bottom line. I mean, you go into a room with, 5-6 new musicians you never played with. It makes you do stuff that you maybe haven't done in a long time, and it makes you better at the end of the day, so I'm proud of him. I'm always proud of my brother, and, like he's, always going to be my brother first and foremost, music or whatnot. So, he knows I've always got his back. So.
Joey Roddle.
You guys got the outfits, man. You all look like the Beatles and shit. Did you,
got a lot of,
even when it was splicing with the footage of like the dentist, I think it was a dentist. He's working on somebody's tooth, and then they're all holding up the signs. All you need is fuzz. Everybody's got the signs.
You know who that dentist is?
No.
That's Todd. That's the owner of Ripple Records.
No way.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching that closely.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool people in that video. Actually, there's who else is in there? Kyle from Mothership
Okay.
and Paul Fig. So he's the producer of Alice in Chains. He's in there.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really weird stuff going on there. Actually, so I put about 20 Easter eggs in that video. So if you watch it, go and look at the background, all the stuff happening in the background. And the first one, I'll give you a hint. The very first one is like the first 10 seconds of the song. And if you look at the original Beatles video that we transitioned from, one of the signs actually says "All you need is fuzz," not "All you need is love."
I saw that, and I was keep going. I'll ask in a second, man. What else you got about the Easter eggs, man?
Oh, there's a bunch of crazy ones. I'll give one more of them, then you guys can all find them yourself. But if you one of the videos, there's a picture of Einstein in the background, and if you watch the video closely, he blinks his eyes at you.
Wow. I saw the sign on there. All you need is fuzz, and I'm like, how did they do that? You know, because that's obviously old footage from the Beatles. So great work, man. Good editing. You did so you did everything for this video, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. You know, since
Justin Toland.
How are the other guys in the band?
Man, they're good. You know, since we've been doing this thing, we decided not to really take off time, but more than anything, sort of just work on writing songs, because I thought, okay, this is going to be a while regardless, and why not write a whole another record, or, you know, a few records if we can. So, you know, just to keep from going crazy, but also to have material. So we got together and we did a few live streams over the course of the thing. And we also got together and wrote a lot. And I've been writing demos and sending them over to them and getting their input. And that's been kind of a constant thing. So, you know, they've been also writing by themselves and playing by themselves as well. And they both live together in an apartment. So it makes it easy for them.
Yeah, that works out great.
Yeah, it's the rhythm section apartment.
Yeah, it reminds me of that meme where it's like when the bass player and the drummer jam together, and it's Planet of the Apes. They're like apes together strong.
Exactly. Yeah, that's them all the time. You know, they'll send me videos of just them jamming around and stuff. And so, yeah, it's worked out pretty well as it could have, I guess. I think in the midst of all this, we've been working on the new record, and we don't have an exact date for the new record coming out yet, but it'll be sometime in the fall. We'll have an actual fresh record out. So
killer. You seem to be pretty prolific, man. A lot of your songs have really catchy hooks, and just the lyrical content is really great, and the subject matter I really dig, man. So when you write these lyrics, do you already have like a hook or a certain theme in mind, or do you just start writing and see what happens?
Man, you know, in the beginning it was all riffs. The first thing was riffs, you know, and then the riff would kind of inspire me to make what would be the hook, you know. But even the way I write riffs is sort of really has always been, since I was young, really sort of nursery rhymey and really almost annoying the way that it repeats itself. I do a lot of repetition, you know. That's how everything I've done is. So the way I was writing riffs was already sort of a repetitive hook type of thing, and then that kind of influenced the way that I sing. The way I sing is a lot with how I play guitar. I mean, for instance, that song Good Pills, which has been placed in a bunch of stuff, is really just me singing the guitar part on with my voice. You know what I mean? I'm not really doing anything crazy.
Right.
And that's kind of how a lot of our songs go. I mean, I do a lot of things where it's call and response with the guitar. The guitar will play a thing and I'll sing the same thing or something similar.
But you pick the right words, though.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. You know, that's all just about, I go through the song and I sort of do this thing where I'll go. I'll have it in my head all day, and I'll just sort of I'll sing different lines in the place where they should go, and then when the right one fits, it just fits, you know. And then I sort of make sense out of it with the next line, and I'll go through the song really slowly. I mean, sometimes over the course of several days, and just I'll go one line at a time, you know. And I rarely write stuff down until right before I sing it. That's usually when I'll get a notepad and I'll jot down what's been going in my head. But I write the whole song in my head and then write it down. So
I totally dig that. I do the same thing, man, a lot of the time.
yeah, I think it's pretty common, honestly, and I think it's good because, you know, in the early days of writing songs, I'm sure you were the same. I would try to sit there and write the words out first, and then whenever you try to put it as the music, it never fits. It never does. You're like, man, that line doesn't fit. Even it's not even close, you know. So I feel like miming it and doing it out loud, and just, I know you're a guitar player too. I think the first few times I saw you, actually, you were just playing acoustic and singing.
Yeah.
I mean, because I met you years ago. I think the first time I met you, I saw you play maybe 2012.
Yeah, man.
Texarkana. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I didn't even know that you did band stuff too. You know, I thought, oh, that's just that guy that plays acoustic. So
Yeah.
I know you write acoustic, so I figured you probably do the same thing as me. You know, I'll sit there with the guitar in my hand, and it's usually a lot easier to write lyrics that way for me.
Absolutely. When you get this hook, do the hooks come to you before you get your verse and stuff like that? Because it seems like Blades of Grass, like Good Pills, like those are strong. They got strong hooks, you know. So did you get the idea for the chorus to sort of build the verse around that, or?
Yeah, it goes either way. A lot of times I actually start with the verse, and I have this little game that I play where if I can't make the chorus catchier than the verse, then it can't be a chorus. You know what I mean? So,
oh wow, that's a cool game.
It kind of challenges me because I'll write the verse a lot, and usually I'll really like the verse, and I'm like, man, that's it. You know, that really gets you. And then the problem is if you write a verse that's too strong, you're like, how can I beat this with the chorus? And so that's sort of the game I've always played. And sometimes it's really frustrating, but in the end, I feel like I usually can elevate the chorus above the verse, which is really hard to do. Sometimes it doesn't work, but, you know, most of the time I feel like I win the game.
Ryan Garney.
Man, I appreciate you having me. I've listened to your show quite a few times. We've had a lot of good people, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
That's awesome, dude. That's great. A lot of people have complimented the show, man. They really seem to like it. So.
No, I dig it, man. I was never one to listen to a lot of podcasts, and then of course, probably like everybody else, when the whole world shut down, I was definitely looking for things to fill time, and I got way into them. And yours has definitely been a part of that rotation. So I'm glad you're doing a lot more right now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we just bought our first home, man. So we've been moving for like the past 2 months, and I'm finally finally getting everything settled in where I can do more of these podcasts. So.
Awesome, man. It's good news. Moving is no fun, so hopefully getting settled in is going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to do this again for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to talk to you about your band and about Lick of My Spoon Productions and all this stuff, man. High Desert Queen, you just released your first single in December last year.
We did. We recorded an album. Man, it took a long time because we actually went in to record February before the pandemic. So we went in, recorded drums in like 3 days, and then the world shut down and we couldn't get back in the studio. So it took several months for us to get back in, but we got in, finished the recording, released a single just to kind of see what would happen with it. Got some good feedback. So the music's been done for a long time, by the way. The album's been done for a while, and we were fortunate enough to have Blasco hear our song, and he reached out, and so we are going to be making the official announcements here very soon. But we're a Blasco band on Ripple Music now, and the album will be coming out finally in October.
That's fucking
yeah.
stellar, bro. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We couldn't be more excited to be a part of that family. I mean, they just do quality after quality band, bands I've listened to for a long time, and they just actually just had recently signed like really close friends of ours, like Thunder Horse, who I've been playing with music and with those guys in different projects for years, and then Good Buds Holy Death Trio out of Austin, so a lot of good things coming. We're just happy to be a part of that. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in Texas right now, man. There is some really cool music coming out, and I think there's going to be a bit of a wave. And we're happy to be considered part of that right now. So it's pretty exciting, man.
That's great news. Yeah, I'm assuming you've been working around the Austin scene for several years now. I know people don't just come out of nowhere,
It's kind of crazy how it works. So the band actually started out of Houston. I was playing with a couple people up there, and then I took a job, moved out here to the Austin area, and about 2 years ago. And the guitar player and I, he still lives in Houston. We just kind of did things virtually for a while, and got linked up with some really good musicians out here, man. Got very, very lucky. Phil Hook playing drums for us right now, who I don't know if you're familiar with bands like Monte Luna. He used to play for those guys.
Oh, yeah, I know those guys.
And he's just an absolute beast. And we started playing with him. Because Rusty, my guitar player, had a lot of songs. We had a lot of songs written. We got Phil involved, and a buddy of mine who I played in projects before, Matt Metzger, who plays bass guitar, came in. And we literally wrote like 12 songs in like 5 practices, and we went to the studio. It went together really, 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 really quick, which was awesome. And because of the pandemic, we didn't get to do anything. We didn't play any shows, anything. That's why it was the weirdest thing that we actually got a record deal. We have nothing out. We have nothing. We have not done much at all. And we're very fortunate that Blasco liked it, and he heard it and he liked it. And that was good enough for us.
That's awesome, man. That's amazing news. I wasn't aware of any of this.
Yeah. And in fact, and even like we've only played probably a handful of shows as I don't know how things are going out in the Phoenix area, in the Arizona area where you're at, but like, things are opening up full here in Texas. And we finally just started playing some bigger shows that we've put on. We had played like maybe one, and then the world shut down. And then our first show, even like with the new lineup, was like in probably November of last year. Of course, it was weird. It was a seated show, like whatever the restrictions we had going, but we made do with what we could do. And yeah, it's been good, man. It's just been kind of growing from there, and we're really excited to be playing some of the shows we got coming up and things that we put together. It's gonna be awesome.
Todd Severin.
Hey, a lot of cool stuff coming out on Ripple, man. I was super stoked about the Yawning Man re-release you guys did.
Oh, so was I, and plus we have a Pothead coming out too, which was their very first ever EP.
Well, I haven't even heard of that. That's awesome.
I know that one was like a brief release in it, but it's the first thing they ever did, and so we'll be doing that one later on in the year sometime. Just have to wait till Mario gets me some artwork. But I was psyched, man, to be able to work with guys like Mario and Gary. That's just like, that's a whole nother level for the label, if you know.
No doubt, man. You guys are starting to occupy some of the desert scene. That Heavy Psych Sounds has really grabbed a bunch of artists from there too, and now you guys are starting to occupy some of that area as well.
That makes sense, they're American bands, we're an American label, so
right.
Yeah,
absolutely. So how is vinyl production, man? Because I know everybody's saying that it's far behind, and you guys got a lot of stuff coming in the near future.
Oh yeah, it's a mess beyond words. There's a whole host of reasons why this is all coming to a head at the moment, and it's bizarre things. It's things you never would have even thought of. For example, when that Suez Canal problem happened, where that ship got caught in there sideways, that backed everything up, and that tremendously backed up raw materials for vinyl pressing, of all things.
Wow.
Secondly, sometime a year and a half ago, there was a fire in Southern California at one of the only 2 plants, I believe, in the world that were making the materials for Lacquer Masters. And that plant burned down. So that just crushed that part of the industry. Now, we didn't do Lacquer Masters. The majority of our releases were DMM. But what that means is people who used to do Lacquer Masters are now going over to direct metal mastering. So it's still flooding more people over to the plants that did DMM because the lacquers aren't available. And then with COVID, you got this situation where with social distancing in the plants, the presses are too close together. So instead of having 2 people on a crew per plant for press, you can only have 1 person on a press instead of 2.
Oh my gosh.
In some of the places, even the presses are too close together, so they can only be every other press. So you pretty much have taken vinyl production, cut it by half, limited the raw materials, thrown more people into the presses that are available. And then on top of that, with the majors coming in and seeing money to be made in vinyl, they're dropping orders of, I just picked up something from Record Store Day on a Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young alternative version of Deja Vu, and it was limited edition, one of only 20,000 pressed. Well, Ripple may not press 20,000 records in a year. They're doing 20,000, of one copy. So
they're occupying a large space in the market.
Totally right. Well, in the pressing market, right? Yeah, so when the pressing plant gets that order, who are they going to fill first? 20,000 order from a major or a 500 copy from some little record company up in Northern California. So it's a problem. Vinyl delay I used to always work on a 3.5 to 4 month build in for records. Give me everything, get the vinyl production set up. I would build in a 4-month lead in, so I'd have the product all ready on release day. But now it's like 8 to 12 months.
Wow.
Which is brutal.
So how does that, are the digital sales keeping you guys like afloat as far as you having to wait for these vinyl sales? Are people pretty good about getting the pre-orders and stuff given the situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I think that I think sales just on a pre-order are definitely thinner than when the product's actually available. I mean, for a load of reasons. First of all, you can't get a good mock-up of exactly what the record's going to look like until the record's done. You can just kind of guess.
Absolutely.
So if you're doing some cool limited edition vinyl stuff, you can just tell them or give a computerized mock-up of what it should look like. But that's, I don't like that because the records are all individual when they come off the press. They usually look cooler than the mock-up does. And I think there's a lot of people who don't want to pre-order too much because then, they have to keep track of what they've ordered and when it's going to come in. So I think that it's better to have the vinyl in hand as far as sales go. But yeah, digital's been strong. The back catalog's been strong. Bandcamp is strong. So, CD sales are still pretty good too, around the world. So, we're okay. It's finally taking a little bit of a nip at us just over this last month because, you put up a brand new release when you get all the excitement. And I think a lot of people are kind of going, well, I'll wait till the vinyl's out to buy it. So we're going to get ourselves into a little bit of a discrepancy between outgoing expenses and then coming into them until this kind of gets itself rectified. But
that's so crazy, man. It's like you said, it really was the perfect storm that caused vinyl to really tank for a little bit.
Yeah, but we'll get by. When COVID first hit and everybody was freaking out, record stores were all closed and our distribution checks got cut by about a third. The wave riders just jumped up and filled that void with direct purchases. So
man, Todd, I've said this a couple times on the podcast. I picked up a vinyl habit whenever the quarantine started, man. I would just come home from work and kind of pop into a vinyl store, one that was open, because out here in Arizona it's just been like mask up, keep your distance the whole time. So I started popping in these record stores because there were no shows going on, and I've probably bought more records during the lockdowns and stuff than ever before.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did too. I think it was, a lot of people were home and gave them an opportunity to look for new things to do and new sources of entertainment. And, record shopping's fun. I mean, I was just out yesterday with Marcus Evis, the bass player from Zed.
Right, and the
He
Mark.
and I went to record stores, that brand new record stores. 2 small independents opened up in a city close to us called Hayward, and we just had a ball, man. Just spent about 4 hours just digging, and then you get the celebratory burrito and beer afterwards. It's a good day.
Sounds like a great day.
Tony Reed.
Hello.
Tony, this is Zach. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I just want to first off say thank you so much for doing this with me, man.
I'm always into this kind of stuff.
Hell yeah, man. I really appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. How have you been?
Super busy.
Yeah, always, man. You never relax, it seems like.
I do at about every night at about 7:00. I get up super early, like at 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and usually around 7:00 is when I just shut it off. Unless I'm really in the middle of something that creative burst that I can't stop, but I usually try to mellow down, but yeah, okay. In general, yes, I don't slow down,
That's interesting. Do you feel inspired, or do you just do the work?
There's a few ways to look at it. I feel like in all of my business, like the mastering, mixing, and my own creative work, I feel like if I'm inspired, my job on it will be better.
Absolutely.
So that's sometimes when I'm doing a mix for somebody, or I have to go, I'm going to wait a little bit so that I feel I can give it the attention and excitement. Like, okay, I'm doing this. I really feel like doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And, I try not to wait too long usually, but if I'm not feeling it, sometimes you just, forcing it. I mean, if you're feeling like you're forcing it, you just go to editing, which is mindless, editing drums or editing whatever it needs to be cleaned up, then that's mindless stuff.
Absolutely. And how about when it comes to writing? Do you just sit down to do the work when it comes to writing, like Moss generator material and stuff like that? Or do you feel like strike of inspiration, like, oh, I want to write this riff?
Well, it comes from a few areas. A lot of the times it's me sitting on the couch, and just about every time I pick up an acoustic, my phone comes out and I lay down some kind of thing that just messing around with the acoustic, watching TV, or you know what I mean? If I'm taking a break.
There's something to couch writing, man.
Yep.
I've gotten a lot of good riffs off the couch.
Absolutely. And that's, sometimes I'll hear a tune and I'll go, man, I'd like to use that feel in a new song. And I'll kind of start with that. Like, I really like the way this certain tune feels when I listen to it. I'd like to, capture that.
Right. Absolutely. Like emulate it.
Take my own take on it,
Yeah,
So,
when I was younger, I used to write my own lyrics to like the Doors melodies or something. I'd just replace Jim Morrison's lyrics with my own lyrics, and then later on we would like rework that for a song or something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the same thing you're saying. Like, I just want to have this kind of feel, and then build on that.
Yep. And sometimes that's the inspiration you need,
Absolutely.
So, and that's been, we just finished some writing sessions, and it's super, I was super productive. We did 2 of them, two week and a half writing sessions, demos and stuff. And we got about 80 minutes of music now and we have never, with this lineup, that I've had since 2015, we've never had that much time, because our drummer lives in Boston now. So
That's the other side of the country, man.
Yep. He was living in Texas when he joined, and then he moved to Boston. But
yeah.
So we hadn't been in the same room since October of 2019. So there was no new material. We were still releasing records, but I have such a vault of material.
Right.
That I was able to pull this and that and make stuff out of it, and I'm pretty much drained now.
So were you recording that new material with a different drummer then? or did
No,
you already have it stockpiled up in recordings and stuff?
Yeah, what we're do is we'll come in and, or we already did. We did, really good demos. He flew up. We were doing 9 to 6 every day.
Wow.
And they were all staying at my house at the studio. And then it would be like, I would get up at 6 in the morning and go out and compile things. And then they would get out at 9 and we would jam till 5 or 6 and record and arrange these things. And we were coming up with a song a day, almost a complete song a day. And this material is very complex compared to some of our other stuff. We've been known to go into some weird timings and complex arrangements, but we made sure on this one that we were challenging ourselves. So we threw down a lot of material that's way different than what we've done, and also much more challenging.
Wallung.
Dang, when Dad of the year.
Every time
Take him to Psycho too. No.
I know. Maybe next year,
Right?
Phil, when are you going to take me to Dave and Buster's?
We'll go tomorrow.
I've got tickets for all of us to go to Kiss in September too, man.
Oh, sweet. I was just telling Phil about the Kiss was torn again. I was like, holy crap, we got to go.
Yeah, well, we got to go to that.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, man. I mean, they've been on my list, obviously, but it's pretty cool to take the whole family,
We are, we're fans. Huge Kiss fans.
Hell yeah. So I got Phil and George here with me. How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, feeling good, man. We've just been kicking it back. It's my Friday. George is
we're both like off work and just drinking a couple beers, having a relaxing evening.
Nice.
Well, I'm right there with you. My weekend is starting now too, which is not usual for me, But,
yeah, I feel you.
I took all the days off necessary to go rock and roll.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm really looking forward to it. Why how come you guys aren't playing Psycho, man? You seem like you're right up the alley.
We weren't invited. I don't know. No one booked us.
I know. With some of the bands dropping off, I'm like checking my email, like, yo, we're ready. Nothing yet, but
yeah,
it should be there.
No, we should probably, we can make more of an effort next time.
I think so, and I think you guys should definitely at least be at the pool next year, or something.
I would love that. That sounds like a dream. I've never even been there. Like, I've just heard the stories. It sounds like the best time ever. I want to go to the pool.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It is a pool, like,
the big
show.
pool party, and that's like how they kick it off on the Thursday night.
Cool.
So that starts the whole party off that Thursday with a thing at the pool. And the first time I went, or the only time I went before, at the pool they had Mothership was at the pool, and I think Great Electric Quest was there too, man. And it was a blast, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the first time I went was like 2015 or something. It was when they were still doing it at the Hard Rock Hotel. And it was surreal because it's like my room was like 3 rooms down from Matt Pike. Every time I walked out of my room, I was like crossing paths with Matt Pike.
Looking left and right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. And
when the High on Fire came and played at Carbach Brewery here in town, they did a show. That was actually a crazy show. Like Power Trip, and oh man, it was so good.
Oh wow.
But we saw we were just got our beers nestled up, and then we just see we sense an aura, and we all turn to the left, and Matt Pike just come walking in. It was insane.
Yeah.
He's such a cool dude.
Yeah, dude. That same year that I was at Psycho, same kind of shit, man. I was like, whoa, what's going on right here? I looked over my shoulder, and it was the bass player for Sleep. What the fuck is his name?
Oh, Al.
Al, yeah. Al Cisneros. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. I just reached over. I said, dude, I really like Ohm, and fucking Sleep is awesome. And you guys are badass.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I think maybe the last show I saw, one of the last shows was Ohm at Brash Brewery. Oh my God, that was insane. It was an experience. Right before COVID, one of the last shows before COVID, it was legendary. Just a brewery I'm always drinking at, and now there's like,
Right.
Yeah, wow,
That's crazy. I've yet to see them live, but
it was a religious experience, no doubt.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an experience. You know, that's something.
Elevate your mind, and you'll talk to God.
So, let's go ahead and get it out in the open, man. What's your guys' secret to writing such good songs?
You got to find yourself a George Baba, and
So George, you do the main writing then?
So I usually write a lot of it. I usually just come up with stuff while I'm, I just think about music a lot, and I come up with riffs and sections, and I kind of form it together, show the guys drafts, and like it just places where I don't know what to do. Usually they always have something to fill in the gaps, and things change as we learn the songs. So I kind of provide the skeleton, and then they kind of just flesh it out,
And do you handle the majority of the lyrics, or how's that work?
That's more shared.
Yeah, shared experience. Yeah, and I mean sometimes I've written lyrics and just a melody and pitched it, and boom, we just write a riff, and that can be how a song is written. Mm-hmm. We definitely talk about what we want and what the next idea for a song would be. Like, I'll just tell George, like, dude, we need to write a song.
We need to write a song about that.
Yeah, and then the next day, like, he wrote a song about, a crazy cult we read about. And,
was that your idea?
Yeah, it was wild. Like, we just, I don't know. I kind of want to do one about it.
No, I dig the subject matter for sure.
Yeah,
and like sometimes I'll have a melody and stuff, but I don't really have lyrics. And maybe even Ethan, he writes a lot of lyrics, and I'll try to see if some of his lyrics kind of fit my melody. And that's happened a few times.
Ethan comes up with some crazy lyrics. He's our drummer, and he's always writing cool stuff.
Yeah, they say drums and vocals go hand in hand because of timing, man. If you got really good time on the drums, then you should be able to write good lyrics. You know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah, because it's very like all the syllables are. I don't know. Yeah, they're very pattern based.
Yeah, as far as like rhythms and stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about the harmonies, man? How do those come about?
I guess kind of the same way. Like I would think of a melody, or like Phil think of a melody, and luckily, the melodies we write just naturally usually have a harmony.
Yeah.
So as one of us kind of says the melody, that you can already think about what a harmony can go on top of it, and we try it out, and usually it works.
And a lot of them develop, I think, in the studio as well. Like we'll be like, we just laid down the chorus, and we're like, that was pretty good, and then George will be like, let me try this high harmony here, and then we're like, oh my god, we have to do that every time.
That happens a lot. Like I'll be recording in the studio, and for some reason I'm just like hearing another harmony in there, usually like a third harmony, and like that you never think about it before, and then you just lay it down, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we won't use it. But most of the time it works.
That's another thing too, to know when to stop, because you could keep adding harmonies and harmonies and when I get in the studio, man, it's like I almost need somebody there to hold me back some. Like you need your buddy, like hold me back, hold me
yourself,
back.
Right? Like solo, going to town.
Yeah, it's easy to get carried away, but you kind of have to like find a balance of what you want. Like if you want it to be like more raw, then the more layers you add to it, the less raw it's going to sound. But at the same time, you want it to be professional, and so you kind of have to like find that kind of healthy balance.
BT Bean Deadly.
Thanks. Man, it was just the perfect amount of serendipity and bizarre alignment of things to bring that music video into being. I guess to kind of like flesh out that story, it would behoove me to real quick explain the making of the From the Mesa EP, which in a nutshell involved when the pandemic lockdowns got real intense. I kind of built out my tour van, really primitively, lofted the bed and whatever, got a bucket and a cooler basically, and took off for northern New Mexico from Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is my home base usually. but was doing a lot of camping and yeah. So when I took off for northern New Mexico at the beginning of the pandemic, I hadn't really written all these songs yet. I had no idea I was going to record them as a solo project. Up until that point, all of my music career had been with my 5-piece full band She-Verb, which is like, you know, big psychedelic rock project. But yeah, so I took off at the beginning of the pandemic, hanging out in northern New Mexico on the Rio Grande, lots of nights under the Milky Way, and super unplugged, a lot of time out of reception and all that jazz. And I ended up reconnecting with someone who had run sound for She-Verb years earlier, who was living in an Earthship, had built out a recording studio at his place, invited me to park my van there for a while. This character is now a dear friend by the name of Brett Tomedin, and we ended up recording from the Mesa in the Earthship off of solar power. Also, to do that little EP, I reached out to Braden Guest, who's also in She-Verb. He came up and joined us. The whole thing was really spontaneous. It was very much driven by, fueled with a lot of the psychedelics being done out in the desert out there, I would say.
I bet that made it easy. It's a beautiful landscape and a great area just to be off the grid and unplugged and get into your soul a little bit.
Totally. It was so healing and cathartic, and I feel really blessed and privileged that I had the flexibility in my life to kind of just take off and do that. But yeah, so the whole thing ended up in this solo EP that got signed to a label called Desert Records out of Albuquerque, and just kind of like took off from there without it really being an intentional solo project. But getting to the music video, so 1 year later, this most recent end of summer into fall, I went back for my kind of annual pilgrimage up to Taos area, northern New Mexico, and kind of, it was like everything just picked up right where I had left off, and a lot of bizarre serendipity and opening of doors started happening up there. I ended up getting a residency at a gallery called the Revolt Gallery that hosted me for a month up there of songwriting. I got involved in some kind of like experimental performer circles and hosted some jams and whatnot. And one of the women that I befriended through some of these kind of experimental maker nights was a woman named Jen Ruff. We became fast friends, talking about really the desire to kind of use our art and our various mediums to put out some important messages around rewriting our relationship to the natural world, trying to create healthier, more reverential dynamics with nature, instead of something so like extractionist or just backdrop to the plot, so to speak. Anyways, she saw my album art, my sticker for From the Mesa, which if anyone's listening and hasn't seen it, just Google search Betty Benededli From the Mesa. It's a black sticker with a triangle on it with my silhouette, and actually there's some lines, colored lines. Those are the horizon line of Three Peaks looking out from the Earthship that I recorded at, and had brought the landscape into the sticker in that way. Anyways, it's very pyramid looking, kind of like Illuminati. There's an all-seeing eye kind of a reference in there. And Jen is a badass video artist who teaches at NYU. She teaches film. She does projection art for Patti Smith. She's a really accomplished badass film artist, and she was heard the songs, and the creative collaborations were going really well, and she just really wanted to do a music video together. And she was like, you know, I'm looking at your stickers. I think we need to shoot in front of a pyramid. I know where there's a pyramid out on the Mesa, and tomorrow is a full moon.
Brad Fry.
Let's go recreate this image out there. And it kind of just took off from there.
I really wanted to learn more about music business, music industry, the DIY culture, in music, and to release Red Mesa's album, The Devil in the Desert.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, it was, I am the type of guy that I need to be hands-on and understand how things work. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm going to get it. And for me, it made sense for me to start a record label. But it wasn't something I ever thought of doing, to be honest, Zach, ever, there's a lot of things that I think about all the time that I haven't done. And you know what I mean? And I'm spending a ton of time doing Desert Records. It's a weird journey because I was reached out, or, I was contacted by the band When the Deadbolt Breaks in 2018 after I'd put out The Devil in the Desert by Red Mesa. And they were like, hey, you want to put out our album? I hadn't really thought about what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. And I did their release, and I did a local band's release, The Horned God, that year too. And so I put out 3 albums that first year, and learned a lot about doing vinyl and how just because you do vinyl doesn't mean it's going to sell. And that was like a really hard lesson, but a good lesson to learn.
Right.
It's expensive, and there's a lot to it just to get it to the point of it being physical and out there. Then I had to figure out how to sell stuff and distribution, and man, it's been quite a journey. So 2019, I didn't do a lot. I put out 1 record and a couple compilations, and started to kind of really gear it up for 2020 with Women of Doom and Legends of the Desert, the first one. And
now, so you got Nebula Drag on the roster, man. I've been jamming them since way back in the day.
Those guys rule. I'm gonna put out their new album in 2022. They're fucking awesome. Nebula Drag rules.
Hell yeah.
And then in the last year, 2021, I put out 18 albums, and that's just me doing all the work. It's really insane.
Are these all? So, are you doing vinyl on every one of these releases, or are they mostly? Or is it a mix of like just digital? Are you guys? Well, I'll leave you with that question first, and then I want to ask you another one.
Sure. Yeah. No. Vinyl, no. Only a few albums.
Right. Yeah, because vinyl's jacked up right now.
It's backed up. It's really expensive. If I did that for every album, I would be out of business. So I do a mix of digital only. Well, no, I always do CDs, I guess.
I was going to ask, that was my second part. Do you still believe in CDs?
They sell for me on a really basic level, enough for me to recoup my cost and get albums out there, and make a couple bucks. And so, yes, I do. People buy them. I do, at a start, I do a really minimal amount, 25 to 50 CDs for the smaller bands, and just kind of see how that hits. And, some bands, we do some particular unique merch item, like with Betty Benededli, we did these really rad bandanas that she helped design with an artist, and then had an Austin company print them up, and they were 22 by 22 inches and really awesome.
Oh, I have one. We went and saw her when she came through the valley recently. We picked one up.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, and I saw that you joined her on stage, and yeah, it was very Jim Morrison-like. It was very cool.
She like called somebody up, and my wife's like pushing me up. Go, go, go. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations like, I don't have a guitar, and then they shove it in your hand real quick.
Oh yeah, fun. Like, here you go, do something, entertain us. Like,
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a very great show, man. I enjoyed it. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and so I figure out other, sometimes I do screen prints of the album cover, like a 12 by 12 print. Whatever. Try to figure out something interesting. T-shirts, hats. Just try to make each release unique and interesting. It's been quite a journey. So I'm coming into the fourth year anniversary in March, and yeah, I would just kind of see where this goes, you know.
Buddy Donna.
I want to talk to you about running a record label, man. You've got Glory or Death Records. How long have you been doing this? And
It's fun, man. It's fucking awesome, dude. Like, we started Glory or Death in 2017, so it's been going for a bit now. It was a slow start, but we've got some pretty awesome stuff out by now, man. It's been good, especially ironically, like COVID was really good for the label for myself, because like I got to like kind of shut down everything else that I was dedicated to. Like as far as the band, we weren't really playing shows, we weren't doing anything really. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna like hammer out the label like as heavy as I can. So I just put like all my focus into the label for probably like a year and a half straight, and I was just working on it like every single day. So we kind of really got the wheels rolling. But we started with a Thin Lizzy tribute, which you're familiar with, right?
Yeah, I got it. I got a copy of it. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you very much for the handwritten letter too, man.
No worries.
Always with the handwritten notes with you guys, man. You really take care of us.
Try to say what's up to people and give them like the appreciation that they deserve. You know, people pay money for this stuff, and I don't know, man. I just want to.
I think you probably even threw in a free copy of Velvet Sessions, bro.
Yeah, Heavy Velvet.
Yeah.
That's the homies for sure. I try and spread that record as much as I can.
This guy's from Slow Season, right?
But yeah, David Kent used to play guitar with Slow Season.
Yeah.
So he plays in Heavy Velvet now. They got this lady front woman that kills it. Her voice is amazing, and the rest of the lineup is killer too, man. They have like a killer band.
Mucho is in there.
The Sessions record that you have is with Mucho and our homie Chuck that actually like filled in with the Quest here and there.
Gotcha.
He's a sick ass bass player too, but that was just kind of like I don't know, it was like transitional, I guess, or maybe like just filling in for them. But they have like an actual lineup now for Heavy Velvet, which is like different homies, and they're sick. I've seen them live; they kill it.
Sick. I didn't mean to derail you, man. Yeah, you were.
Because the Sessions record was like Cody played on some tracks from Slow Season, the drummer from Slow Season.
Yeah.
Mucho played on some tracks, and then Hayden from Slow Season on bass played a couple of tracks, and then our homie Chuck played a couple of tracks. So it's like, it's a madhouse on that record, dude. It's like pretty gnarly. In like 20 years, that record could be like insane.
It'll be an NFT, bro.
Yeah, right.
I think Cody Tarbell has one of the.
Like, damn, everybody played on this thing.
I think Cody Tarbell has one of the biggest ride cymbals I ever seen.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah.
that sucker was like 30 inches fucking around.
Right, dude.
I didn't mean to derail you, man. You were talking about your Thin Lizzy tribute.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I was just saying that was kind of like the kickoff. Was a big Thin Lizzy tribute. I was trying to think of a way to like kick off the label and kind of bring in like as many people as I can to try and get the fire started, you know, and kind of get all the homies like in front of everybody else's homies and in front of everybody else's fans, and bring in like artists and everything. So we got Austin Barrett to work on the album art and David Paul Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them were like amazing artists, so we were super excited. I mean, just to have them involved, but that tying that in with like all the bands was like a pretty solid start. So that record took forever to make, man. But when it finally came out, everybody's like, "Oh, these Glory or Death Records dudes aren't fucking around. Like, this shit's fucking amazing." So we kind of stuck with that, and we call that the Bow to Your Masters series, which is like our cover albums, like tribute series. So the next one was Deep Purple, which just came out right now. Which I'm sure you've been seeing that one too.
Yeah, man. I wanted to chip in on the Kickstarter thing, but by the time I got around to it, it was too late.
Yeah, that's all good. I kind of like half-assed it on that Kickstarter because I kind of didn't want to use Kickstarter. We've been doing so well like on our own that if I use Kickstarter, then like they take a cut.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's just like giving our supporters like money to Kickstarter, which is kind of weird, you know. So I actually like Kickstarter on the down low for the Deep Purple one, and I like really made it small and was just like, all right, we're just gonna do like a couple little like special packages. and then we're just gonna end it and then use that for like to help with the deposit to get the project rolling and stuff like that. And it worked perfect, man. We definitely like overshot our goal. Everybody was super hyped on it after the Thin Lizzy one. So it was amazing, man.
You got some heavy hitters on the Thin Lizzy one, brother.
Dude, High on Fire.
Yeah,
High
bro.
on Fire signed on early, and we were just like, what the fuck, dude? Like we're like nobody out here, dude. Just like it's just we're just starting a record label. We're like, oh yeah, we want to do this like Thin Lizzy tribute, and we got High on Fire. It's just like, yeah, we're down. Like
you reached out. Did you reach out to them?
Yeah, Jeff Wilson's like one of the founders of Glory or Death.
Okay.
And, he plays bass for Kook.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's friends with Jeff Matz. And actually, in Kook, Carl, the guitar player in Kook, he used to play in High on Fire like way back in the day when they first started. So they have like tie-ins with High on Fire, like multiple different ways. But I don't know, man. Yeah, he hit him up, and they were just like, "Yeah, we'll do it." Like,
and Isaiah Mitchell is another one that stands out. I mean, obviously, you got a lot of great people on here.
Dude. Like, his song's got to be one of my favorites on there, man, for sure. He did this like gnarly cover in Still in Love with You, and everything on the track is himself. Like, I hit him up for the credits for it, and he's just like, "It's me, dude. Like, just put my name." Like, I played everything, I recorded it. He just did everything himself.
I'm looking at I'm looking at this LP right now, dude. And for anybody that hasn't checked this out, I mean, this Thin Lizzy, Bow to Your Masters Volume 1, tribute to Thin Lizzy. It's got Mothership, Moss Generator, Wizard. I mean, there's Red Wizard, Egypt, Worshippers, Slow Season, Duel, Goya. That's just on the first side, man, you know.
Tyler Dingville, or T-Sweat, as most people know him. He's another founder of Glory or Death Records. Back in 2017, Tyler, Jeff, and I started the label. And like I said, we were just trying to find the best way to like blast everything off. And we kind of like gave it everything we got. So we were like hitting up all our favorite bands, trying to tie everything together. And like everybody was pumped, dude, which is amazing because we had nothing going on. So it was like we didn't have any clout, you know? It's really funny to be like asking, trying to do something and like have people actually trust in you and believe that you're going to follow through and do it. But it came out insane, man. So yeah, we got Wofat, we got Gygax on that thing.
Yeah, I didn't
White
get it.
Dog, the White Dog homies.
Once I started reading them off, I was like, "There's no point in skipping around. I might as well just read off every single name."
It's insane, man. You want to just like name drop a few, but it's like, yeah, dude.
How did your Moss Generator is like? How did your relationship begin with them? Because they're pretty big on your label, man.
Trying to think of how I met Tony Reed. Like, I can't even recall like how we met, but it was I booked like a couple of really terrible shows for them like a long time ago, like probably like 7 years ago now. I feel like it's been like a really long time, and they weren't terrible, but I mean they were just small shows, you know, like your normal like shitty bar. And it pays like maybe $100. Like, I don't know, maybe I paid them like $200 or something, like nothing special at all. And we just jammed with them, and then they would take off on their tour. Like, they're always on these huge tours, like 30 days, 60 days, like crazy big tours. They're always on the road. And then the next tour, he would hit me up again. He'd be like, "Hey, I'm coming through town." I'm like, "What the hell? Like, why is he asking me for a show?" Like, I feel like I did terrible last time, but I don't know, we kept chatting here and there, and then we talk about music, and we're into a lot of the same things. And a while back, we were on tour, and we were in Tony's area, and we like stopped in, and he like invited us into his studio, showed us like all of his gear, and showed us his man cave. It's insane, man. That's like, it's all of our dream of like a place to live, dude. He's got like every record, he's got all kinds of toys to play with, and he knows how to use it all, which is like another thing. Like,
that's
a lot of people
awesome.
will buy gear and just let it sit there, but like Tony will like nerd out on everything. Like he knows how to use everything, and he'll tell you all about stuff, which is like amazing, man. He's definitely a key person in the scene. If you're looking for like mastering or mixing or recording, he does record bands out there. If you're lucky, if he's not too busy, like it's definitely a great dude to know.
That'd be awesome to go record with him.
Yeah, man. Our relationship has grown a lot, and I've been putting out I put out Exiles for him, which was like a couple of random tracks. There's like some covers on there and some like random Moss Generator tracks, and that was like the first release that I did for them. And now we're working on Hot Spring Water, which is like his kind of like country-ish band. It's like a little bit different, but it's like kind of Neil Young ish. It's different, but it's awesome, man. I love that kind of music too. Like when we're on the road with the Quest, that's the kind of stuff that we listen to in the van on the road. So it's cool to like tie in stuff like that as well.
Tom Frank.
Then Scorpion Child, right?
Yeah, for about a year and a half or so. They were all friends of mine. Actually, before they formed the band, I was jamming with them. But they, when they got their Nuclear Blast record deal, they felt they needed to replace the guitar player they had at the time, which that band has had so many members. It's crazy. I mean, 40 members or something, you know, in and out through the years. But I hopped on right after they got that deal, and for about a year and a half did a lot of the big tours they were doing and stuff.
Was that like your first taste of like big tours and stuff like that?
For the most part, as far as real big stuff like that, like the first thing I did with them was like, it was 2 weeks after I started playing with them. We went on tour with Clutch and Orange Goblin for like 6 weeks, and all over through Canada and everywhere in the U.S. It was a crazy long tour, but it was amazing. The first night, you know, was in front of 7,000 or something like that.
Nice.
So it was, you know, it's really all the same because you can only see the first, 60 people standing in front of you.
No doubt.
But it was cool.
When you're on these tours, do you get to get some hangs in with the other bands? Like, did you get to catch Clutch just hanging out?
Oh, yeah,
or anything
for
like
sure.
That? Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we'd watch them and Orange Goblin every night, you know, and, Clutch kind of, we'd hang out with them a little bit, but they would kind of keep to themselves, you know. They had a huge tour bus and all this. But the Orange Goblin guys we hung out with a lot, became really good friends with, and see on the road and over in Europe every now and then. We'll be playing the same festival or something.
I know the last album they put out was killer, man.
They're awesome, man, and they're so like commanding live. Like Ben is just like larger than life on stage. He's just like huge Viking, you know, and he's just like, you know, he knows how to do it. He knows how to get people riled up.
Kelly Juett.
You know, Judge had a daughter that was getting to be a teenager, and, you know, me and Kyle had life stuff, and it was just one of those things that we all just kind of COVID really kind of pushed us in that direction. But, you know, we weren't jamming as much, which was fine. But, you know, we got home from tour and finally started to find life and stuff we neglected for a decade. And I just think we all needed that. I think we all kind of COVID hit and we weren't jamming, we weren't doing much. And I think we all needed to step back and take a break and get re-inspired like we were when we started as a band. And we're still inspired. We got songs. We got a lot of demos that we were so close with, you know. I mean, looking through, we have 20 something demos, and listen, me and my brother lately have been talking. We want to do try to get some new stuff for these new shows we got coming up. And it's like, I was up to demo 7, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, up to demo 7, listening on the way to home and to work. And they were all fire. They were all complete songs. The solos were sick. And the way we do it, we don't write lyrics, man. It's weird. Like, we can write
records worth of music and the structures and everything without lyrics, and that's how we've kind of clicked. We figure that out. Each record we did more lyrics in the studio as the years went on. Like not really any on the first record. Second record, I think we did like 1 or 2 songs. And then this last record, High Strangeness, I think 3 or something songs, we had to figure out lyrics kind of in the, it's just kind of how we are as musicians and how we create, but no, we're still doing it. We're still getting all of our demos together. We want to release some stuff. That's the goal. I think we just all needed a fresh outlook on stuff. And I think we were to the point that we were wanting to maybe do something that wasn't Mothership, maybe get a producer and maybe overproduce something and make it this crazy 4th record. And we all kind of stepped back and we're like, let's just do a Mothership record, man. Let's just get in there, jam some stuff out. What comes out, let's don't overthink it. Let's put it on a record. Let's play the tunes. And that's what makes us us. And I think, all this time is we've all kind of realized that is like, we all think every single one of us thinks we're the best band on this planet, put us up against anybody. And that's just how we've always felt. And, I think it shows in the way we play our music and we are with our fans and our friends and families. And, it's all kind of a package of who we are. And we're inspired. We got a bunch of new shows that we're about to announce and bunch of cool festivals that we got lined up. So it's it's starting to get those gears churning again. We're starting to remember, man, fuck, let's get out there and jam, dude. Let's write some tunes. Like, we had this little break for about 2 years. It was almost like a time lapse. Like, what happened? Okay, we're back at it. We didn't miss a beat. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you guys got almost like a cult following in the underground, man. I think it speaks for itself. I mean, just like you said, you guys are always so cool to all your fans and really put 110% into all your live performances, man. And all your merch is always on point. I mean, everything, all those aspects are always like right on point for Mothership, man. So there's no reason why you guys shouldn't have a huge following like you do. I remember right when the COVID thing was kicking up, you guys had that live stream, man.
Yeah.
We were watching that in the house, man. That was killer, bro.
Dude, that was one of the coolest things because it was, I remember too, I think it was April. I don't know why, I just remember that. And yeah, we hadn't done, and even now, we hadn't jammed for, I don't know, a couple months up to that point because we were all just like, it hit and we all just kind of were paused, the whole world was. And then finally it came up. We're like, we should do that. A lot of people are doing it. We haven't jammed in a while. And, we had a bunch of dudes, Alan Meridian, who I used to live with him in Texas, but he has a jam studio and he helped us hook up the audio recording. So we actually had a stereo mix off of our board. So that's why it sounded great. It wasn't delayed. It wasn't a fake. Like a lot of people do a video that they've produced and then put it on a quote unquote live stream. That's a thing you can do now, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're able to have like a legit audio feed. That's why it sounded so great. But then it was a live video. You could tell with our vibe. It wasn't like a prefabbed or let's take it. That's what I think was just the authenticity of it was, people love that. Dude, I think within the first a week or something, it's like 116K view, like the first couple days. Yeah, it just had this reach. I think, like you said, we have this underground following, but then people were like, it was a buzz, people sharing it, and people were stoked to see it. It'd been months, so it's kind of a cool thing to look back on. Like you said, like, one, it was rad. We played everything we knew pretty much, like 2 hours, and people were chiming in, people were helping us out, like tipping us. Like it was one of the best things we did. We sold a bunch of merch. Like it was just a rad little event. And
we had you guys up on the big screen, man, on the surround sound. I think I was barbecuing that day, dude, having a couple brews. It was almost like being at the concert, dude.
That's rad, man. Yeah. The front row seat at your house,
Mucho drums.
Yeah.
Man, well, this must have been like 6-7 years ago, maybe. I used to play in this other band up here in Los Angeles, where I'm from, and Rosemead, California. And the name of the band was War Chief. And we did like rock and roll, rock and roll stuff. And we started playing shows and, kind of like venturing out a little farther. And then we ended up going down to Oceanside and we played at, I think it's this place called, it's called the Pier View Pub in Oceanside. And we played with the Quest. And, when when you're playing in bands, it's cool. It's cool to meet other bands, but it's especially cool when you meet bands that are like kind of in the same realm as you. You know what I mean? And that's how the quest was, man. We clicked really well together, and at one point we with the band I was in, War Chief, we just we had a falling out, and I was back on my own, just playing drums, and at that time when the band fell out, Buddy hit me up and just asked me if I wanted to play with them, and they had some shows already lined up. They had like Psycho Las Vegas like already lined up, so I was like, oh dude, absolutely. And I seen the Quest play too, and I saw like how fucking crazy Buddy and fucking Tyler were, and at the time I think Devin was playing bass. But then we ended up getting Jared Bliss at the end, which is freaking just another powerhouse right there.
He's
but
great,
yeah,
man.
no, that's how I went down, man. I was in a band fell out, and the heavens fucking blessed me with a call from Buddy like a week later.
I think I caught you guys at Psycho for that performance. Was that when it was still at the Hard Rock Hotel, right?
Yeah. That was the Hard Rock.
Yeah, I saw you guys there, man. Fuck, I didn't realize you had just joined the band recently. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, just that year, man.
Hell yeah! And so, what's the drive from Los Angeles down to Oceanside?
On a light traffic day, like an hour and 25 minutes probably. I've done it sometimes where it takes me like freaking 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Was that straight down the coast with the ocean on your side the whole time?
Oh God, no! I wish.
Oh,
they don't want to be such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. Okay, so how do you guys manage that, man? What's that like?
Well, before I was living at Buddy's house basically for like 4 days out of the week, man. I used to work Monday through Thursday, and then Thursday just take off down to Oceanside, and I would sleep on Buddy's couch, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then come back Sunday just to get ready for work again, man. That was like my routine. That's all I did. All I did was just freaking work, practice, and then work and go down to Oceanside and freaking just write and jam out with the Quest with the guys.
That's awesome. What kind of work were you doing?
I worked for a printing company. I used to work for a printing company.
Right. Yeah, that's something else I wanted to talk to you as well, man. So
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. How'd you get started doing the printing thing?
Man, so it's pretty crazy, and I'm extremely blessed for this. But I started my own company, my own printing company. It's called Mucho Printing. Everything in my life, it's got to be mucho. It's got to be.
Absolutely.
And, I started my company in February 2020, and I was my main focus. Obviously, because I play in bands, I print like bass drum covers. I print amplifier covers, flags and tents and things for for festivals and for events and stuff like that. Backdrops for bands and venues, and
I would say like conservatively, like 50% of the bands in the scene right now, if they got sick ass backdrops and amp crate covers and all that good shit, they came from you, man. I've seen a lot of good ones. I'm just gonna just be conservative and say at least 50, but probably more, man.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's funny, man. My friend Lion, he plays bass in another band I play in called Living Alive. We do thrash metal.
Yeah.
He plays in like other bands too, and he goes to like every show imaginable. He's a real music freak, and yeah, me and him were chatting one day, and he was just tripping me out. He was just like, yeah, man, I went to see a band that like I saw their bass drum cover, and I was like, hey, did Mucho do that? And they're like, yeah, and he's like, dude. Then like a couple days later, I went to another show, and I saw another bass drum cover. I was like, fucking Mucho did that one too. I was like, yeah, dude, hell yeah.
Cool, man.
But the trippy part is like I started it in February 2020, and a month later, COVID and the shutdown happened. So no shows, no festivals, no concerts, no nothing with that, no music. So I thought I was like completely screwed, because that was my main objective. to do those kind of prints for bands and stuff like that.
No, so you had to just let go of your main gig up to that point, right?
Oh my gosh! Luckily, I did not.
Oh.
Luckily, I was like, yeah, and I was about to. I was about to. I was talking to my, my fiance at the time, and yeah, we were talking about that. Like, hey, I'm gonna quit my job, my regular 9 to 5 job. I'm gonna start my own company, and I'm gonna dive into the deep end. I'm just gonna go for it. And she's really supportive. She's been supportive the whole time, and she was supportive then. And yeah, I mean, I did it, and I thought it was gonna be bad timing, but I feel like right now music's coming back, with an even greater force, and everything's working out perfectly great for me right now.
That's cool, man. How did you manage to pull through during like the COVID, like when everything was kind of hot with all that?
Well, with my lifestyle and my family's lifestyle, we're really, I feel like we're really active and very, very healthy, and very optimistic. So, during the whole COVID situation and everything, we just had like a really we had a strong belief that living healthy, we could beat pretty much almost anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, dude. I see you guys when you were on tour with Great Electric Quest. You're up in the fucking redwood forest doing fucking push-ups, man, with no shirt on and shit.
Yeah, man, dude.
That's
Hey, that's another
awesome.
reason why, dude. That's another reason why me and Buddy are such best friends, dude. Me and Buddy, we literally ran across the world, man. Shit.
Yeah.
We went to Europe, dude, and every chance we got, dude, instead of that was our sightseeing,
Yeah.
We would take off on a run and find a park or something, fucking do pull-ups on fucking trees and bridges and whatnot, dude. Fuck you,
That's killer,
But
dude.
yeah,
You're animal,
but yeah,
man.
I think living a healthy life is probably the best way to get over any kind of sickness. And that's my opinion. That's just my thought on it, and it worked out for us.
Well, did you manage to have enough commissions for your printing and stuff to hold you over during those times?
God, you know what? Especially with those stimulus checks, dude, people were fucking sending me stuff they wanted me to print their fucking dog or something, just 'cause they had fucking extra money or something.
No, I have
That's what
I
I'm
have a
saying. That's what I'm
canvas
saying.
of
I
a
thought it was gonna
family.
be-
I have a canvas
Huh?
of a family portrait that you did for us, hanging
Oh,
up in the
yeah.
house, man. It's very cool, dude.
Yeah, thank you for that too, man. I remember that one, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, I got a bunch of random things like that, and the right now a big part of the company is focused on these pop-up events that are happening a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I tell every customer that orders that does that type of work, I really get my inspiration from seeing and hearing other people that are busting their ass to reach their goal. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And all these people that during COVID, they didn't know what to do. So, they started their own business, whatever it was. If it was baking, if it was sewing their own clothes, if it was freaking candles, if it was whatever it is, they also took a plunge. They fucking went for it. It was sink or swim. They fucking went for it. And I see how these people fucking work, man. And I always tell them dude, I get my inspiration from you guys because this is exactly like a fucking show. Their events don't start till fucking noon, but they're there at fucking 8 a.m., 6 a.m., getting ready, setting their shit up, setting their merch up, getting all their stuff fucking prepared. The event ends at 5 p.m. They're there. They're there till fucking 8 o'clock, still fucking breaking down, packing up, getting shit ready to go, and then fucking going home. And dude, you know what it's like to do a show, dude. Fuck, you play you're supposed to go on at 10, but they want you to be there at fucking 6 for fucking sound check.
Yeah.
Fucking 20-minute sound check.
Yeah. A lot of hurry up and wait.
Exactly, and then you're supposed to be done playing at 11. Damn, you don't get home till fucking 3.
Well, I fucking have a couple of flags that you've made for us, dude. It's a beautiful fucking nice fabric, dude. Really nice work, and I'm waiting on these backdrops that we ordered from you. That should be here this week.
Oh yeah.
I'm just curious. I don't know how much you want to disclose. I mean, what are the inner workings of all this? Do you have your own I don't even know how you do print on fabric like that, but how do you do this, man? Do you have your own like printing press for the fabric on your
Yeah.
at location or what?
So basically, me and a couple friends, a group of friends, we all have like our different clienteles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some of us we work with different people, like apparel, or we do, a lot of people. I got a couple buddies that literally just only do like canvases, like only canvas prints. So we all basically invested in machines and 2 warehouses to do these machines, to run these machines. So, sorry. So,
It's all right.
So basically, whenever we're running jobs, certain days of the week we'll run certain materials. Like Mondays and Tuesdays we'll run only fabrics. But we don't print like one at a time. We literally like accumulate as many as we can, so we can run the machine as long as possible, and we can, whoever's there, changing the rolls or making sure that the prints are coming out good. It's worth their time too. You know what I mean? Because I go there, we all have our what do you call it? Our schedules to go in there and wait. Basically be there for a couple hours to make sure everything's running fine, everything's going good. And yeah, I mean, you know what? We have a lot of help from our friends and our family that are down to just, cut and sew and like package and make deliveries. Go to FedEx or UPS. And it's growing. It's growing, and luckily for us, none of us are greedy. None of us are greedy. We all like to help each other out. If I'm there and I know that I'm gonna go to UPS or something, we all communicate, tell each other like, oh, we're gonna go, I'm gonna go to UPS. Anybody need me to take some stuff for them? And like, oh yeah, can you take this box? Blah blah blah. I'm like, fuck yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, so far everything's been going good. We don't, at the moment right now, because we're all sharing, we don't really like to disclose our actual locations, because we did for a short time. And I mean, you deal with people on OfferUp, you deal with people off like Facebook Market and shit like that. You don't really know these people, and we kind of noticed like people started trying to like kind of break into these places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's better to just leave that. That's the only thing that we do not disclose is like our actual locations.
No worries, man. So do you guys got all those different fabrics and all those different colors just chilling on site then?
Some of them we order in bulk and we store them, and obviously it's the ones that we sell most of, like the fabrics, like the ones that you ordered and the ones you're gonna get this week.
Yeah.
It's it's polyester. It's polyester fabric. It's really nice, and a lot of people like that because it's like elegant. It's easy to fold, and it won't crease permanently like a vinyl banner or something like that.
Right.
That sells a lot. So we can buy a bulk because we're going to go through it. And obviously when you buy bulk, you get it at a cheaper rate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other things that we can't compete with, like obviously like Amazon or like, something, if there's like a canvas.com, like all they do is canvases, we don't have the space or the orders coming in that would allow us to order so much canvas material that we would get it at a cheaper price. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. But I think that you guys are working with a niche market where the people that support you are there to support the cause and the scene. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And you know what? And also a big part of this company, because like I said, the company's growing. So eventually, like, we're like, I'm gonna have like my own customer service, department, and eventually like have like my own storefront where people can go in, and the main thing that this company is always going to be about is going to be you deliver the fucking absolute most positive fucking energized customer service you could fucking ever imagine. I don't give a fuck if you don't order anything from us. If that person calls, I want the person on the phone to fucking make sure that they have a fucking great conversation, that they fucking hang up just at least a little bit more inspired for the day. You know what I mean?
Shit, I feel inspired right now, bro. I might fucking go run around the block right now.
No, exactly, dude. Anytime I deal with anybody, I always fucking tell them, fucking, they say good morning. Like, nah. We don't use good here. Fucking great morning. All right? Fucking get some. Like, you're going to fucking kill it. That's what I want people to feel when they fucking contact us. Like, No matter what, you call us. You're gonna hang up the phone, or you're gonna leave the conversation feeling great about yourself, feeling great about life. That's what I would want.
You mentioned that you guys were kind of like a collective of different sort of small businesses like yourself. Um, is there a lot of people? Do you have people working for Mucho Drums, or are you kind of just like your own entity up there, or do you guys kind of dip into each other's ink and help each other's out, or how does that work?
We all help each other out. Man. We all help each other out. For instance, well, like if you have a buddy, that has that their clientele mainly does, like hats or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I personally don't have too many clients that order hats, but when they do, that's another thing about the company that I want to push too, is that if we can't do it, we'll find you somebody that can. So like if someone hits me up and they're like, oh, I need so many hats and I need them this and that, luckily I could be like, you know what, I can't do it, but my buddy, he'll fucking do it for you. He'll give you a great price. He'll help you out. And I just got to call my buddy and be like, hey man, this guy's going to hit you up for these hats. We all help each other out like that,
That's cool. So they all have their own little version of Mucho Drums for themselves.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And you know what? I've said this before and said it again, but I fucking love my friends. I fucking love my family. I fucking love my life. And that's the reason why, because I'm blessed with so many fucking people that I'm surrounded by that make me who I am. Like that's the reason why I am who I am, because I have people like that everyone's just a fucking, a blessing and a fucking positive energy in my life. And, everywhere, as much help as I'm getting, I want to make sure that I help the next person as much as well too,
Involved with both Ripple and Blasco, and Blasco being the guy that signed us, and, found our single and then signed us. It was awesome. And then to have all that, us work on it, he and I, Blasco and the band worked on it, specifically the layout for the record and the vinyl variations and the artwork, and to see it all come together, it took a long time, but that's out of anybody's hands. It's awesome, man. It's awesome to finally have that in hand. Like, hey, this is the product we all work very hard to get done, and it's nice to have it done.
So you get that. This was, well, first of all, you got Ripple Fest going on.
Right.
You guys are brand new to the label, and you're already setting up this huge festival for Texas.
Yeah, and that one last year just kind of happened. It was just kind of like one of those perfect storms of like, there's a couple bands like us and Hold the Trio and a couple bands that got signed out of Austin to Ripple, and both happened to be with Blasco. And we were like, well, man, we should do some kind of show. And like, cool, let's do it. And it's funny to call Todd to try to get permission. Hey, can we do this? He's like, well, yeah, of course you can do this. In fact, he let us know that every Ripple Fest had always been kind of like band run, and then we just kind of took it and ran with it, and it got bigger than we expected. And of course, this year I went all in, so it's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, you can tell, and I want to get to that a little bit later, but
cool.
So Ripple Fest was a huge success, the first one last year.
Yeah,
I was there. I had a hell of a time, dude.
I remember, man. I remember partying with you. It was fun.
I had such a blast out there, brother. And then got to catch up with you again at Psycho Fest. That was fun too, man.
Yeah, man. A lot of good people at Psycho Fest last year too, and that's kind of ironic because I think the next time I saw you was in March when we were on the road with Sasquatch, and that was all because I went to, one of the main reasons is I went to to Psycho that year, and I saw the Sasquatch guys, and I'm a huge fan, and I went up to go say hi. I introduced myself, and Cass, the bass player, was like, "Hey, you're the Mountain," and I didn't know what he was talking about at all at first, and then I realized, that I played the character the Mountain in our music video, Mount vs. the Quake, and it was like, it freaked me out that I'm like, here's a band, these guys are like my heroes, and they recognized me, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And then I make an empty gesture, no way they're ever gonna say yes. I go, hey man, we should tour sometime. And they're like, yeah, cool. Never think I'd hear from him again. And then he like I don't know, 2-3 months later, he calls me up, say, man, so how's March looking? And I was like, oh, this is really going to happen.
Wow,
so
man.
it's kind of cool, man. Just kind of keeps happening.
That's amazing that it happened for you that way, man. Yeah, I've had some serendipitous stuff happen for me too as well. I mean, I was hanging with you and at Psycho Fest, and then the month before you guys came up here, we had this big Planet Mammoth thing, and this band here, Old Fashioned Assassin.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they released a record with Glory or Death Records, and then as soon as they did that, their singer quit, and they were already booked up for this Planet Mammoth shit. So I was like, oh, then that was kind of their record release party. And
Yeah.
Damn, man, these guys just did a whole lot of work, and we were kind of talking about
crumbling.
it. Yeah, I was like, I'll jump in for you guys, man, just to play this one show, and then Evan from Psycho Fest just happened to be there. And then there was kind of whispers.
Beauty of it all, man. I love it.
Yeah, there was whispers around that we were going to be playing it, and I was like, yeah, well, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it, you know?
Right.
And then once you get the contracts, it's like, holy shit. So now we're playing Psycho this year, man.
Yeah, which is so awesome. And I love that when it hits you like, you realize it's actually real.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of circumstance. And I'm guessing, man, that's how these things happen, because I mean, things keep happening for us that way, and there's really no rhyme or reason. You know, we just, we like to keep pushing, and we like to work hard, but like running into Sasquatch was just luck, and then same with you, just the guy happened to be there, and you guys tore it up, and he got noticed, and there you go. That's how it's beautiful, man. I love it.